What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Or if it's your first time, you don't have to subscribe or do any of that crap, or like or do any of that. I don't care. I would appreciate it. I would like it, but ultimately you don't have to. But today we are doing a review for The Flash season 7, episode 2, The Speed of Thought, and Superman Lois, season 1, episode 3, the perks of not being a Wallyflower, and the time codes are right there, so you can skip to whichever one you want. But here we do have this thing where we have an intro, so I'm rambling, so let's roll that intro. And this episode starts off with a montage of every Wells we've met up to that point, and either their death or when they went away, and it's just really weird. Or the main Wells. It's not like everyone, but it's really weird because to think about an infinite number of Wells are dead. Maybe there's a new infinite number because of Crisis, and I don't know, but I don't know, but they put up a memorial for Nash, and then we see the superhero memorial in Star Labs with like Jesse Quick. I think Oliver's mask is there. Nora and Ronnie are definitely there, but then Barry's talking to Joe, and Barry tells Joe that he thinks his heart is his biggest enemy or weakness, and Joe says that's what makes you the Flash, Barry. That's what makes you human. Or, I'm paraphrasing, but last episode we saw Iris send something to the Mirrorverse to meet with Singh and Camilla, but when Allegra goes to work, she finds that message on the laptop in the Citizen. So then it gets to Barry, and Cisco working on how to get on the device on how to get people out of the Mirrorverse. But Barry gets this flash of the future. He can like predict stuff, and we learn that the artificial speed force gave Barry a new power, speed thinking, which basically allows him to predict stuff and see the future. So they like test the Savitar thing on him that they did with Julian, Albert, and they like Cisco has a ball of energy that like gets more kinetic energy the more it throws around, and Barry predicts where it's gonna land, and it does, so powers work. So then Allegra comes in with this information that Iris is someone there. So then Barry is trying to hunt down Eva's location and he does. You can see it here. 1 second. Oh, sorry. Velcro. Haha. I'm re-velcroing my cord for my microphone. Sorry. But here you can see he's writing down. But this picture right here behind there, he narrows down. He says there's like a 94% chance that Eva's gonna be there. So then Eva is there, but Barry's wearing the device that Airbud used to get more speed, which I think he's also using. He's using it to absorb Eva's particles, which is kind of important later because the particles are made out of Ramsey's lifeblood. But he does let Frost get hit with some light, and Cisco's mad at him. But Barry knew that Caitlin would survive, and there's a cure. But there was a 0.0 chance that the tachyon device was gonna break. Which, come on, Barry. But then Barry hacks and gets Eva outed on live TV. So then she frees into the TV, and people are like, "Where is the real Eva McCulloch? What happened to Eva McCulloch?" Well, you saw in that video, dumb. But there Barry talks to Frost, and they're having a conversation. I forgot what they were talking about, man, I'll be honest. But Cisco is still mad at Barry, man. But he should rightfully. But Barry does some research on his own, and he finds out that because Iris was in the Mirrorverse longer, that they can either pull out Iris or they can get Sin and Camilla out of the Mirrorverse. So in Barry's prediction, they take a vote, and everybody votes to get Sin and Camilla out, and Barry's the only one who votes Iris. So, I thought this was actual real scene, just took place after that last scene, but no, it's a prediction. So then Barry gets on the suit, and he does it by himself. He's going to do it all by himself, and they're not going to let him. And Cisco finds out about this, but Barry is so heartless by this point in the episode, and he calls Camilla expendable, so Cisco shoots Barry long enough for Caitlin to get the Velocity X, and Caitlin becomes a speedster for a little bit, which this seems like something they put on a whiteboard saying, for us, get speed. Like, some point you do in the show at some point. But, the CGI on this run around scene where they fought was a little bit dodgy, but I love at the end where, Barry's bashed into a car and stuff, and Camilla's on that rooftop, and she's using, Nash's gadgets, like the smoke bomb and stuff. I just really like that. But in the beginning of the fight, Barry did throw that kinetic ball, and he predicted all of this would happen, so that everybody gets knocked out by the kinetic ball. So then he opens the portal to the Mirrorverse. Iris sees him, and Iris wants Sin and Camilla to go first, but Barry's like, no. Barry's so heartless by this episode. Iris is resisting; she doesn't want to, but no, she falls out, and then Iris is having the same reaction that Sin and Camilla did, because they were put in the Mirrorverse by the mirror gun. So then Barry realizes what he's done to all of his friends and loved ones. So then he destroys the artificial speed force, and he gets struck by this. He has weird blue lightning, which is kind of weird. And I'm sorry, these photos are out of order, man. Yeah, Barry. But tears are real. That's like one of our cliffhangers. Here's our next one. Eva's just sitting there after she got revealed to the world as fake, a mirror duplicate, and so she's gonna make the whole world become the mirror world. So then there's just this. Sorry, I got a notification. There's just this mirror duplicate in the no, there's a cop, and they're in front of a mirror, so Eva pulls them in the mirror and comes out as that cop. Like, are you trying to infiltrate a police station, man? You're kind of copying Zoom or Ricardo Diaz. But I guess you were in the Mirrorverse, so you didn't know that happened. But here we have Once Upon a Time. And we get a flashback to episode 17 of season 1, where Matt Letcher's Reverse Flash is sucking the soul out of the OG Harrison Wells. And I've always loved how this looks, man. He looks like a disheveled grape. He looks like a raisin, I meant. But then we've never seen this before, we saw Harrison Wells get buried, which kind of contradicts season 1, episode 19 with Quentin and how they found the bones, but that's fine. Maybe post-crisis changed that. But then we see Reverse Flash bury him really quick, but here's the particles that they were sucking off Eva with the tachyon device from Ramsey's lifeblood. They are forming and reviving Wells, the original Harrison Wells that died in the year 2000 after Nora Allen was murdered by. He's back. I'm really interested. This man is a wanted murderer because of what happened in season 1 with Wells aboard, but I'm really interested to see what's happening in this with this reveal, and I can't wait for the next episode, man. The trailer looks great. But here is my Superman Lois review, and this episode starts off with them painting. I think they should have gone with the color that is behind Lois, the gray, but then Jonathan's being snarky, so Lois paints him on him. I don't know. And then they have a fun family paint fight because they have tarps down. I think it's fine. They're just gonna paint over it anyway. But then Jonathan gets in the mess, and Clark and Jonathan have a little wrestle, and Clark and Jonathan, they can fight each other. I think not Jonathan, Jordan, Clark and Jordan, since they don't have equal strength, but Jordan is stronger than a regular kid. But anyway, Superman's being happy and having family time. So you know what that means? Someone's in distress. Yes, a bridge is collapsing. So you know who needs to be there to save everybody? The Man of Steel, of course. But I really enjoyed this scene, man. I really enjoyed how I just love that suit, man. Look at it. He's just holding that up, and when he waved to the fisherman, he had paint on his hand, and it was dried because of how fast he was flying. But then it's next morning with breakfast, and I'm sorry if I keep going far away. I keep going far away, but the kids ask him, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever overheard as Superman?" And Clark says, "I'll tell you when you're older." Maybe a future season. I don't know. I kind of want to hear that, man. But then Sophie and Jordan are talking to each other. And, man, does Jordan not learn not to talk to Sophie, man? He's going to get beat up every time he tries to, man. Well, I don't think by the end of this episode he won't. But, that's the point he would. So Clark is doing work around the house. But he's also overhearing their conversation. Which, in the first place, he shouldn't have been. But I think Jordan would have exposed himself as having powers, because Jonathan tries to help, and Jordan looks at Jonathan, and you see the red flash in his eyes, like he's about to kill Sean, who I think Sophie's ex-boyfriend is now. But then Clark appears, and he's like, "Oh, this place hasn't changed since I've been here." So then they get home, and Jordan and Jonathan are mad at Clark, man. They're just wondering how many times have they listened into one of their conversations before. But anyway, so then we have this incredible scene with Lois and Clark talking about the first time that Lois learned that Clark was overhearing her conversation, and how Clark thought that he was going to lose Lois, and it all got resolved because of some flowers, which is nice, and it comes back in the end of the episode. So then it's the next morning where the boys come out to go to school, and Clark tells them that he will never listen to another one of his conversations again. And Jordan was over listening to theirs, of course, and so he says, "You bought Mom flowers, up my allowance," and Clark's like, "No," which I thought was kind of funny. But then when Jordan goes into school, he sees Sean and Sophie break up. Okay, so then Jordan gets pushed over by one of Sean's friends that's in the football team, which that's just unnecessary, man. But then we see Lana teach cheer squad, and she calls out Sophie for no reason. Maybe because she wasn't participating. I don't know. I just think that's kind of bullcrap. But Sophie quits, man. She just quits. Storms off. I think it's okay, but then it's football time, and Jonathan is playing football, and this actually is pretty fun to see. No offense on the kid who plays Jordan. I think his name's Alex. He does not look like a kid who would know anything about football. Man, I don't even know anything about football really, but he plays football. He's pretty good at it because of his powers, and the coach is really impressed. But when he takes on Sean, he flips him out. Jordan wins, of course, but he apologizes to Sean, so I think their beef is over. And Jordan's making some friends on the football team. But then Jordan, Jonathan, and Sophie go out to a diner, and they're talking. But then Lana meets Sophie there. Talks to Sophie there, and Lana is just talking, and Sophie just blurts out, "I won't," blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna say what she said, but take herself away from the earth purposely. Does that make sense? Uh, look at Jonathan's expression. That's just perfect. But then Clark comes in and he's like, "Hey, Lana," and she's like, "Not the right time, Clark." But anyway, Lois's car starts on fire, man, because somebody like lit it on fire. Who would light? It was probably somebody sent by Morgan Edge. I'm being honest, but they're just standing there, man. Seriously. Oh yeah, they were investigating someone. When they said the name of the person they were investigating, Alex something, I thought it was Blight from Batman Beyond, but no, it's that last name is Powers. But Lois does tell uh, Kyle that it probably was somebody sent by Morgan Edge, but no, Kyle denies it, which I don't know. But then Jonathan and Jordan fight, and Jordan's like, "You don't own football. I can do it." Blah blah blah, which seems like such a real something brothers would fight about. But then Lois and Clark talk, and I don't know. This was really nice to see, man. You don't really ever see this much, and it's just a nice little callback where Lois says, "Thank you for the flowers," and you see the flowers in the window, which I don't know what Clark messed up about, but that was a nice, heartwarming scene. But then Lana and Clark talk, and they're talking on the street, and it's like old best friends, man. I like Lana and Clark's dynamic. Lana doesn't annoy her voice does annoy me, but Lana talks about how she feels her family's breaking apart, and how she doesn't feel like she can do anything about it, but she does reveal to Clark that Jordan is playing football. So then Lois is investigating. So she does investigate, and we see the door had been kicked open, so that means that Dean Winchester had been there, and no, it's a joke. It's this dude who is immune to everything except laser, except heat vision, I think. But seriously, he gets a pencil in his ear and he doesn't. But then Lois pushes the little thing that summons Superman, and we get this cool slow-mo of Superman bashing through the walls to get this dude. And if that didn't say it enough with the pencil in this, he's like basically immune. I don't know if he's a metahuman or a Kryptonian based off the end, but he catches Superman punches. But Superman knows that he can take this, so he like freezes the dude. I don't know what he's called, but personally, I think he's a Kryptonian, based off the end. Have I said that enough? But then we get this also cool shot where he doesn't shatter, because I don't think he's a regular human, because a regular human would shatter if they got frozen. But then it's the next morning. Clark talks to Jonathan about how this one time in 9th grade, Clark wanted to play baseball all for a girl who I wouldn't be surprised if it was Lana, based off Smallville. But it's just a really heartwarming scene. And then Clark goes to the coach of football and goes to be an assistant coach, and the coach says no until Lois says he'll do it for free. And yeah, he does. So then Jonathan and Sophie are talking outside, and man, they're gonna have a relationship or something, I bet, in the show, based off the pilot. But yeah, that's what I predict. But Tyler Hoechlin is such a great Clark Kent. Look at him, like, look at him struggling to do that fakely. But then he walks up to Jordan and asks him to help him, like, fakely. Yeah, he's like over exaggerated. But then they're at the Smallville Gazette, and we see the wall of Morgan Edge in the connection. I think the next episode they're going to Carthage, the town they were talking about that Morgan Edge put everybody out of work and bought. But at the end we see the dude who got beat driving away, and then we see this lady in the street. He looks like he recognizes her, but this lady, weirdly uses heat vision. Is she like Ursa, or is she Ursa or something? Because we haven't seen them yet in the Arrowverse, or they could just be recast. I don't know. But this is really interesting. She says, I gotta report this back to the team. So maybe there's a team of Kryptonians. I have no idea. This is just super interesting, man. But that is my review for all of this. If you made it to here, please say, comment Rubik's Cube. I know that's super weird. I'm looking at a Rubik's Cube right now. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna stop rambling, and I don't know. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and comment, man. It would mean a lot to me. I use up a lot. I don't get a lot of sleep because I get these photos super late at night. When I'm trying before I go to sleep, and then I have to crop them and everything. I'm not asking for a sob story. I'm just like, these take a lot of work. This is my second time recording this video because the stupid editing thing. But whatever. Goodbye.